Hi, welcome back to another episode. I am Donna and this is Brian. We decided to do a podcast on men's mental health awareness to try to break the stigma. We started with telling Brian's story. He suffers from anxiety, depression, and panic disorder. So we kind of gave his backstory and just saying how he copes with things, how he deals with things. We're not giving medical advice. It's just his opinion on what's worked for him and maybe what hasn't worked for him. This isn't geared towards children. Some of it is adult content. And if you're easily offended, you might not want to watch this. Okay? So today we're going to talk about things that the panic and the anxiety prevent you from doing, or something that you started where it's caused you to stop. One thing you had mentioned before is about playing guitar and doing lessons and pursuing that. So what is your take on that?
When I first started, I had done some. There was a friend of my cousin, and I took a couple lessons at his house. Again, anxious, but wasn't too bad, and he was pretty relaxed and all. I have horrible can't call it stage fright, but playing in front of people. Even you, for the longest time, if I knew you were if you were in the room, I couldn't do it. If I even thought you could hear me playing, I couldn't do it.
You've made comments over the time like it was so much better when you weren't in here, even to the point where you started recording it when I wasn't there, so I'd be able to hear what it sounds like, because when you go to play it when I was there, it wouldn't sound the same.
And even that would take like 8, 9, 10 times of me recording it until I got it to where it was which I go back and listen to them on Instagram or YouTube, wherever they're at. And I have made some progress, but it's been like 6 years, but not a whole lot. But yeah, I don't remember the reason why they stopped the in-person. It could have been me. I honestly don't remember. But then we started doing them on video or Zoom, virtual. I don't know what it's called. But it seemed like probably had like 3 or 4. And by the 4th one, I literally had to tell him that I couldn't do it anymore because I was having a panic attack, not a severe one, but like sitting there before we started, and even while we were going, my hands were shaking, my legs were shaking. And I think I was just putting so much pressure on myself to, because every week, you do, when you first start out, you have A, B, and C to do. Well, then the next week you add D, and then the week after that you add E. So you just each week keep adding stuff. And I didn't think, now he had told me since that I was progressing at where I should have been, but I didn't feel like I was. I felt like I should have been a lot further ahead because of things in the past most things that I can remember, coming very easily to me. And this wasn't. So that last Zoom thing, after we were done, I had texted him and just said, look, the panic disorder and everything is taking over, and I'm unable to continue at this point. Now that was, like I said, in 21, maybe beginning of 22, I don't remember. So I'd only had like 6 or 7 lessons total, I think. But I know now with you, because I'll play in front of you all the time, and I'm completely comfortable. It still sucks the playing, but I'm at least comfortable doing it. So I would like to try again with lessons. I'm a little nervous about whether that's going to happen again, and I don't want to waste somebody's time, even though I know I'm paying them, but it's like, I don't know.
Do you think it would be easier if they pre-recorded a lesson, sent it to you, and you did it that way rather than doing it live?
Um, I mean, easier on my nerves, yes, but I won't learn anything because I've tried some of those courses where they have the video courses that are recorded, and it's like, well, if I don't understand something, I can't ask, or if I'm not doing it quite right, you know, he can see it and go, or a live teacher or whatever can go, do this with your hand, and this will be easier. And they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, in the video, they're not there, so I'm either making it harder on myself or I just can't get it. So the frustration kicks in and all of that. So it's just like, and I've tried probably 5 or 6 of these like subscription type courses, and individual like guys that are on YouTube that have classes or courses, um, and some that are like the bigger companies or something like that that have stuff, and it just none of it stuck very long to where I would just start to lose interest in it, or it just became frustrating because I couldn't get it and there's nobody to ask, or nobody's looking and going, you just switch this finger with that one. It's like, oh, stuff like that. So I I, I would like to try the in person lessons again. Because I think I could do it, and I'm also going in with a different mindset of I suck, I don't know what I'm doing, and this is going to take a while. So just if I go in knowing that or thinking that way, then that pressure comes off and it's more enjoyable instead of it's now become a chore or work or whatever.
Even if you build it up, even if like the first couple are only like a half hour and then it goes to 40 minutes or however long they are. I don't know how long lessons are. Um, that might be an option. I do know that like with Zoom, now I'm assuming the Zoom that you guys were using was probably the free version, but
Mm-hmm.
Zoom, they can do what's called breakout rooms where he can watch you. You don't see him watching you, but he can watch you when you play. And then, like, say you play for like 3 minutes, and then he says, "All right, now try this, doing it this way," where he's watching you, but you don't see him like watching you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I know he is, so there wouldn't really be a difference.
All right, yeah.
It was the same as if you sat and watched me play, or if you went, you sat in front of me or you sat behind me. I knew you were there. And I don't have that problem now. I don't know how many times just sit upstairs and, play, or I'll ask you, give me something I can try and learn and see if it sounds somewhat like the song or something like that. So I don't have that problem with you anymore. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I would just like to try again as far as the guitar goes.
Yeah, I mean, give it a. The worst that can happen is it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Honestly, I mean, nothing.
I don't. I think it would this time, just because of going in with a different mindset. Instead of going in thinking I'm going to be the next Eddie Van Halen, just go in with the hopes of learning some songs and scales and some, getting a little faster, or, learning different techniques, and then, you know, having those little skills, then I can go on from there. Because I have picked stuff up from just learning different songs, and you kind of go, oh, something will click, and then you go off and write your own riff or, do whatever. So, and I also got more comfortable actually recording and uploading this stuff to like Instagram or YouTube. Now, I don't, the Instagram, I don't, there may be like 10 followers or something like that. YouTube, I don't think there's any. So they, I mean, there's a few of them that have gotten into the 3, 4, 5,000 views and have gotten likes and stuff like that. Which is not my intention. My intention was really just to put them on there so I could go back and listen to them, and later on, re-record it again and see if I had gotten any better since,
That makes sense.
however many years. And even like one riff that I've been doing for like 5 years and just finally had gotten it to where I like it. You can hear all the different progressions of it until where it is now. So that was like the main goal with that. So I think maybe doing that also made me a little more comfortable, to the point where I didn't care what I put on there. Like, I'm just gonna, like, I was doing a thing for a while where it was like, I'm just gonna listen to like a part of a Metallica song. I'm gonna practice that part for like 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna record it. And whatever happens, happens. And I don't know, I may have done 20 or 30 of those, like different pieces from each song. I was trying to learn a riff from every Metallica song. I'm still trying to do that, but so I think just knowing that I guess, or that acceptance that I suck, and just to try and enjoy it instead of worrying about, I guess, how I go up against other people. So not worrying about that and just playing what I like to play, and you know has made things easier. So I think it would work.
I think that's one of the hardest things for like people that do lessons, the teachers actually, when their student surpasses them. So imagine like, and I think your issue is like you've seen younger kids playing and you're like,
It pisses me off.
but I mean, people,
There's like 12-year-olds that are out there shredding like Eddie Van Halen. It's like, how the fuck did they get their hands to do that?
some people are just gifted in that area.
And like, I don't have small hands. I mean, they're not huge, but I think they're average size. But I just can't get them to do certain, like, here's the chord, and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, I guess if I did it 1,000 times in a row, but then we come back to my focus and attention span and my patience, to where it becomes a little difficult to just do something that's so boring to me just over 1,000 times before it becomes normal. That's where I struggle.
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen, like we've watched videos and you're like, literally almost bitching because a kid's like doing so well. You're like, how the hell? Imagine.
And it's not against them.
No.
It's me.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I do that?
And then imagine their teacher. Now the students surpass. And as an educator, that's what we always wait. We want our students to surpass us. But in that sense, you're like, damn, I started teaching this kid 2 years ago. Now he's kicking my ass playing. Like, and I think that's where you might get a little bit of your like,
well, and a lot
hesitation,
of
I guess.
yeah, and a lot of the ones that I see are now, I'm taking their word for it that they didn't take any lessons and they're self-taught, which most of the players out there were self-taught. The big name guitar players.
I think kids pick things up so easily. Like,
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, I don't understand, for me, with everything that's available for free, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, free apps, whatever. Like, why can I just not get this?
I think kids' brains are wired different than ours are.
Well, they definitely pick stuff up quicker.
I'm not even saying that though. I mean, because they were born with technology.
The latest generation.
Yeah, was born with technology. So to them, it's almost foreign for them to sit in a room with a music teacher teaching them how to teach. It's horrible to say, but
Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, so, and again, we've had this discussion numerous times. 3-year-olds being put in front of YouTube because parents don't want to parent. So what are they watching? What soothes kids? Music a lot. So it's
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some stuff with drumming with like 8 and 9-year-olds, and they're like banging out Rush songs and like.
I just watched.
There was a guy up in Bucks County that had a kids. There was like 15 kids. He's actually on YouTube. I don't know if he still does it or not, but it was like what's the thing? Let There Be Rock School or something like that. Well, he had
School
a thing.
of Rock. Is it called School
No,
of
it's
Rock?
like Let There Be Rock School or
Okay.
I don't know. But this was I don't know if it might have been a school, like an elementary school, but they would do all like rock and heavy metal stuff. And there would, there's like 3 kids playing guitar and there's 1 drummer and I don't know how many singers and bass players and all that. And they're all young and it's just like, I don't get it. How is there so many kids that can do this? And I just can't figure it out.
I just watched 2 things. One, I just watched a kid playing something of Zach Wild's. It was amazing. Zach Wild actually commented on it. And then I watched another one where a group of kids did Ozzy's song, and Ozzy actually went to the school to watch them perform. These are young kids.
Not Ozzy's song, one of Ozzy's songs.
One of Ozzy's songs. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
I thought you meant Black Label Society.
No, it wasn't Zach Wild. They actually performed for Ozzy. Ozzy, his son and daughter both went with them.
Oh, okay.
And these kids were young, and the one that I watched that did Zach Wild's song, I'll have to see if I can find it. It was.
I've seen some of the kids who have done No More Tears and like Mom, I'm Coming Home, and they're doing the solos and everything, and it's just like,
Yeah, it's.
I can't even do a tiny little piece of a solo. Like,
It blew my mind. And this kid that did Zach Wild's song, he couldn't have been older than. If he was 12, I'm shocked. He was amazing.
I love the ones that are standing there and their guitar's bigger than them.
Yeah, that's
And
kind
I'm
of.
like, how are your damn little fingers doing all that wheelie dealy? And I'm like, I got regular human sized fingers and they don't work that way.
This kid, Zach's comment more or less was, I wish I was that good at his age. And I'm like, you're a multi-million-dollar guitar player, world renowned. Imagine what this kid feels like. I'm better than Zach was at my age. Like, that has to be like the highest compliment you could be given.
Now, the only thing I'll say is it's one thing to learn other people's songs because for most people, me excluded, it's easy. Like when 72 Seasons from Metallica came out, it literally came out and the next day people were already doing covers of the songs
Okay.
in less than 24 hours just from listening. Didn't see how it was being played, just listening to it and being able to hit those notes.
There are people that are gifted like that.
I can't, but there's so many that were doing it. I was just like, how do you even hear? There are times where I can tell that it's the wrong note, but I can't find the right one. I can tell it doesn't sound right, but I can't get to the point where, okay, this is how it's played. And these guys were there were bands or individuals that were playing this shit within like 24, 48 hours of them releasing the album. And for some reason, I can't remember the first single that came off of it. But they were even like blown away by it because it's just like, how the fuck nobody's even seen them play it live. So how do you even know? It just blows my mind how good so many people are.
I'm going to flip it back to technology. They could have just as easily put the song in, had a program that read the notes for the song. I'm not.
I mean, if you have Pro Tools or
I'm not
Logic or something like that, it will break up the guitar parts and separate them and stuff. But I don't know if there's anything that actually transcribes it like note for note. There may be, but I've never heard of that.
Now with AI, I won't put anything past this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just. And yes,
I think it's cool. It's just I sit there and watch it, and it's just like I don't get like pissed off about it. Jokingly, I will just be like, "How the fuck?"
Yeah, I get it, and like I said, the kids nowadays, they're just built different than we were. They were raised on this technology, so. And again, look around how many kids live on YouTube and just sucking all that information in. And
well, that's what but I guess my brain just slowed down or isn't sucking it in because I don't know how many guitar guys I follow and music channels, and I just can't pick that shit up.
Well, and some of these kids may have a natural talent. I mean, there are some people that are just naturally talented when it comes to music, whether it's singing, whether it's playing an instrument. I mean, we've followed different bands where the guys will tell you, I can't read music.
Yeah, most of them can't.
What do you mean you can't read? Then how do you know you're playing the right note each time? And they'll tell you, it's a feel. I just know where my fingers need to go.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between learning somebody's songs and writing a song, because it's definitely easier for the most part to learn somebody's riff, whether it's Master of Puppets or,
but they all started that way.
Ain't Talking About Love, whatever.
But all of them started that way.
No, I'm saying there's a lot of people online that's all they do is cover other people's songs.
There's bands that make millions just doing that, which boggles my mind.
Millions?
Well,
they have careers off of just being cover bands.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're getting rich off of it.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I know the one band that used to tour around here.
They're not millionaires, though. You talking about Crystal Rocks?
Yeah, none of them had other jobs anymore.
Well, no, they make a living, but they're not living in mansions.
No, but I'm saying, like, considering, and I'm not bashing them by any means. Well, I'm not bashing them by any means, but
here comes the bash.
No, it's not a bash. They're making a living off of somebody else's hard work. And I'm not saying what they're doing isn't work. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, you still have to know how to play the instrument.
I get that. But okay, so all right, so this is gonna, then why don't people make a living just doing karaoke? All right, I have a good voice. I'll just sing their songs and make a living. They're not putting.
They do. It's called Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift and.
They're
Britney
not doing
Spears.
karaoke. That's their own music. Oh my God, karaoke would be like you singing a Meatloaf song. No, please don't. But I'm just saying.
I don't know any.
I mean, again, I'm not bashing Crystal Rocks at anything. They have to learn how to play and all that. But somebody else put that extra work in is writing the songs.
I don't have a problem with cover bands.
No, neither do.
Or somebody. I mean, they're not ripping the stuff off. They're not putting in it. They're not. They're going out there with, we're a cover band,
right?
And you're going to hear. I never heard them, so I don't even know what they played. But, like, I knew somebody who was in a tribute band, and all they played was Def Leppard. Is that ripping them off, or is that just celebrating that music? Zach Wilde is in the Pantera Celebration Band. He's covering with the other two members Pantera's music. Dimebag and Vinny are both passed. Is she ripping it off?
Did he start before Vinny died?
Who?
Zach.
No. Both of them have passed, been gone.
So whose idea?
It was the family, and then Phil and Rex.
So that was the family.
Put it together and
so no, I don't think
asked Zach and Charlie Benante to play guitar and drums because of how close they were to those guys and everything.
So I don't think, and it's called a celebration. They're celebrating the band.
Well, they're just calling it Pantera, and that's what pissed everybody off. But if you hear Zach or Charlie Benante talk about it, you hear them go, it's just a celebration of Pantera. It's not a tribute band. It's not a cover band. We're not in Pantera. Now, the other two, obviously, are the two founding members, along with the Abbott brothers. But, yeah, people were going berserk at first because, like, oh, it's not Pantera because Dimebag's not there and Vinny's not there. Well, no shit. If you put out a Van Halen album and it was just the bass player and even Alex Van Halen, it's not Van Halen. Eddie's not there.
So I'm going to go to the flip side, and we'll use Van Halen since you brought them up. He said he will no longer play.
And he's putting together a thing now.
Oh, I didn't know that because I remember after
so there was a lot of unreleased music that Eddie and I guess Alex had recorded. I think a lot of it was more Eddie. And he decided, this was last year, I believe. I was watching an interview with him. And he's been going around and asking, trying to get a guitar player and somebody, and they're going to release this music, and then it sounds to me like he's going to tour. Now, what they're going to call it, I don't know.
I'm just curious, why doesn't he ask Eddie Van Halen's son?
Oh, I didn't say that he didn't.
Oh, because he's an incredible.
Oh, he can play all his dad's shit. No,
yeah, he's incredible. I actually watched him.
There's probably two other people that I would think of, like right off the bat, would be like Joe Satriani. And
who's that?
He's the one that used to be Kirk Hammett's teacher back before Metallica was real big.
Is he still alive?
Joe Satriani?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not old.
Kurt Hammett's not young anymore. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, he's around the same age.
Okay.
I know. You've seen him. He's bald.
Hold on. What's his name?
Joe Satriani. Don't ask me how to spell it.
I got that part.
He's in the band with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The weird looking guy.
Looks like an alien.
Joe. What's his last name?
Satriani. S-A-T.
I got it.
Riani.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I know who you're talking about. And shockingly, that used to be him.
Yeah.
I know who he is, yeah.
So, like, him, Wolfgang Van Halen, I would say Dweezil Zappa, Frank Zappa's kid. I'm pretty sure it's Dweezil.
I'm like, are you sure that's his name?
Well, because he was little and he grew up around, Eddie Van Halen was around there all the time. So he was always around them.
He freaks me out. I can't look at him. I cannot look at him.
Who, Frank?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a little crazy looking. It's Dweezil. I've watched his interviews. But he was on another guy's YouTube channel, and he was playing, like, he knows all the little intricacies, and he could play it too. I'm sure there's a couple others out there, but there are ones that just come to mind. Yeah.
Well, it says he actually learned from Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, he was little, and Eddie Van Halen was around all the time.
How is he so good looking with his father being who his father is?
Well, maybe if his dad didn't have like the psycho eyes, or he, his hair was different and all. His hair was like short and all. He's got his own channel and everything. He seems like a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, I didn't.
But
But Wolfgang has a band, doesn't he?
yeah, it's called Mammoth,
And
which was the Van Halen band previously, I believe. Or something, I don't know. I know they were originally called Genesis, and then I obviously had to change the name because there was already a successful band out there. But anyway, I know he was trying to get like Robert Plant to sing and stuff because they're definitely not. Alex Van Halen is definitely not bringing back David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar, I don't think.
yeah, I
And Michael Anthony, he plays with Sammy Hagar. I don't think Alex is going to have him back. So it's not going to be Van Halen. Even if it was Wolfgang, Alex Van Halen, pick a bass player, and I don't care how famous the other singer is. It's not. You want to call it a tribute, a celebration, call it something totally different because it's not Van Halen. I don't, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean,
The same as Pantera. I mean, it's all their music, and these guys are filling in, so a whole new group of people can hear it live. Are you hearing Dimebag? No, but it's pretty close.
yeah, I mean, I guess, in that sense,
John Five, he might be another one because that dude seems like he can play anything and everything.
yeah, but I believe he's spoken for right now.
No, he's out on his own, right? Touring on his solo project right now.
Didn't they just start their?
Just saw an interview with him. He's over in Sweden with his solo band.
But didn't Motley Crue just start their residency?
I don't know. He's in Sweden right now. I just watched the Ola England, and he's in Sweden. He just had him on an interview, and he said,
Was it a live one like now, or could it have been like pre-recorded?
"It's not. It wasn't recorded that long ago."
Oh, I could have swore they started their residency. They might not have, but I mean,
That dude John Five doesn't quit either. He seems like he's another one of them that just always on the go doing. He was with Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, John Five and the Creatures, Motley Crue.
now you got me wondering when's Motley Crue, because they're supposed to be doing a residency, aren't they? I thought they had a residency coming up or something.
You don't want my opinions on them.
Let's see.
But
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, I mean, one thing with music with me is I started out with like in elementary school with trumpet and sucked, hated it. But I wish I would have stuck with it and learned to read music. And because I'd even taken a guitar lesson, I took one when I was like 12. And it was this old dude. And all I wanted to play was like Motley Crue or, what I had heard at that point, the hard rock, Van Halen, stuff like that.
Hold on, just to interrupt. I stand corrected. Their residency was only in 2025. It's not continuing. I apologize. I know Metallica has one too. They were talking about doing one. I don't know if they are.
Theirs isn't so much a residency, it's that sphere thing. I don't think it's considered a residency, though, because I don't think it's more than. I don't think it's like 4 nights a week for a year or something. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
theirs was just 3 months, but yeah, I don't know.
this teacher was an old guy, and he brought in like the sheet music for "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," and I'm like, I want to learn "Running with the Devil," or "Eruption," or "Atomic Punk," or like this sucks. So that lasted one lesson, and I was like, yeah, I don't. It's not what I want to learn. So that was pretty much it for that.
Yeah, but I guess I see where you're coming from. It goes back to instant gratification. And I get that. But
Well, that, and I wanted to hear that distorted
I,
rock guitar sound, not ding, 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 ding. Like,
I understand that. Why do you think they now have a distorted Star Spangled Banner? Or is that what it is?
it's just a rock version.
A rock version.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not now. Jimi Hendrix did it
That's what I'm
in the
saying. But
'60s, and I don't. There may have been somebody that did it before him. I just know his is one of the more famous.
that's what I'm saying. But like, it's still the same song. Could you put a twist on "Row, Row, Row Your Boat"? Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you definitely could,
I
but not at 12. I didn't even know how to do. I didn't even know how to get that distorted sound at that point. And so I went into a music store, and the guy said, "You need what kind of amp do you have?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's got 2 buttons." He was like, "Okay, well, you need one of these pedals and this." And I literally, okay, saved up my money, rode my bike, bought it, went home, plugged it in, and went, "Oh, there it is." The only problem is I didn't know anything except that just one string, which is pretty much the one I keep playing to this day.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start somewhere.
But I wish I would have stuck with the trumpet or that guy or whatever, because then I could see where I'd probably be pretty good by now. Or I would hope in 40 years I would have gotten better.
I was going to say at least gotten a little better.
I, besides life, I haven't stuck with anything for 40 years straight.
Yeah, again, music is a tough one because there are some people that are just gifted, and there's some people that
Well, and
there's not enough money that's going to be able to teach them.
And there.
No, I think you're
be me.
teachable, but I mean, I remember being in band in school, and you played the trumpet, so you had to be in band in school. It's not funny now, is it?
I don't know if it was band. You know what? I don't remember. Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of people in one room.
Yes, it's not too funny now, is it? But anyway, I remember being in band, and we would be playing, and then you have somebody going, like, did someone bring a duck in or something? Like, what the hell was that?
What was it?
Either screwing up on the clarinet or
that was probably me.
something like that. And it's like, so then we stop, and the teacher goes over to them, and 20 minutes later we come over, we all try to play again. I'll just again.
What were you playing?
The flute.
Like the whole sideways thing?
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I would have taken piano, because it seems like a lot of the guys that are like the guitar players all can play piano. And either were doing piano prior or at the same time. Eddie Van Halen was
Yeah, I was going to say, I
Zakk
remember.
Wylde. Like all that piano you hear on all of Ozzy's stuff from when Zakk Wylde joined, that's Zakk Wylde.
I actually just watched a video of him playing piano to his kids.
Well, he's playing the Ozzy song he did for Ozzy.
That was my next one. The first time I ever saw him play piano, I didn't realize he played until I watched Ozzy's song, and then
You never saw the In This River for Dime?
No, I was just going to say, then I went down a rabbit hole. They had said that he did a song for Dimebag. And then I went and watched that, and oh my God, it broke my heart. Well, I don't know what was more emotional, the song itself or the video.
Yeah, it's probably a combination.
But, and
I think I think Mama, I'm Coming Home, there's a piano.
Yeah.
And Road to Nowhere. There's a lot of
Eh,
songs that have
But
piano, and
I've
that's
seen
Zach
him in
Wild.
concert. I've seen Ozzy in concert with Zach Wild.
You suck.
I
Obviously, I'm never going to get to see that one.
Okay, hold on. I'm really gonna make him feel bad. I've seen him multiple times.
Yeah, I know. And Metallica and everybody else.
I still didn't put the two together. I never put the two together because
I don't.
he doesn't stop and put the guitar down and play the piano.
Right. Yeah. In the concerts that I'm going to guess that. Well, if he plays In This River, I think there is a piano on stage or something for that, or a keyboard or something. But the other songs that we're talking about, that stuff's pre-recorded. Like
Yeah,
that's backing tracks that they're playing because because a lot of times the piano is playing with the guitar and he can't be in two places at one
yeah.
time.
So I just never, and like I said, I actually stayed up when they released the Ozzy song. And I watched it live.
Well, and Eddie Van Halen, the song "Dreams" that I played on guitar, the intro to that
It's
is
piano.
keyboard,
Yeah.
and that's him playing, and then he goes into the guitar.
So the other one, and I know you're not a fan of. He's not a guitar player at all, but he's a drummer. Is Tommy Lee? I did not know he could play piano.
It's not that I'm not a fan. They're a little fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't know he can play piano as well as he could. But yeah, like I said, when I saw Zach Wild, I was like,
Well, I saw an interview with Eddie Van Halen, and he had said that to him, the guitar was just the piano keys turned this way.
yeah,
So he looked at it as, because the notes, I think, are all the same. Well, all notes are the same. It's just depending on what you're playing it on.
I think he was formally educated, though, wasn't he?
Well, it was weird. So him and Alex were both put into piano courses prior to coming here.
Yeah,
And actually, when they got on a boat to come here, his dad was a concert pianist. And he would, during the interludes, he would make them, that's how they got here, was like, that's how they paid their way, was by playing the music for the ship. And then the kids, Alex and Eddie, would play during like the intermissions.
okay.
So, and that's what like their parents always wanted them to become, like concert pianist. And then when they got here, Eddie started on the drums, Alex started on guitar. And then one day, Alex came home and Eddie was just going off on the guitar, and that's how it switched.
Did we watch something?
We watched some documentaries on Van Halen and stuff like that.
Because I remember that part. And imagine being 3 generations, because his father was a concert pianist. Eddie Van Halen is a musician.
Arguably one of the best guitar players ever.
And now his son. And his son can play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he can play his first album. I think it was his first album. He played every instrument, and then he got guys to play on tour. But he played the drums, the bass, the guitar, the piano, the singing. Recorded all those parts separately, put them together, put an album out, and it's all him.
I did not believe that at first. I watched his mom do an interview. I did not know his mom and father were still close, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I mean, they were,
They were separated, but they were still
separate lives. But I think
they were still very close.
like co-parented.
I watched an interview with her, and she says, he's a lot like his father in the good ways, and
I've seen him on numerous interviews. The one I watched the most was the one where Rick Beato's channel, and he's, as far as I'm concerned, he seems like the most down to earth. Just yeah,
That's what Valerie was saying.
like
You would not think he was raised by two
he doesn't like
famous people.
he doesn't like stick it in anybody's face. He wants to make his own, do his own thing, make his own, and his stuff does not sound like Van Halen, as far as I'm concerned.
And he was in Van Halen.
Yeah, he was the bass player at one point.
So, and I was watching Valerie Bertinelli's interview, and she was like,
I think he was still a kid when he was in.
I think he was like 20 or something. He was, yeah.
He might have been younger than that.
But she said that he got the good qualities. You know, he got Eddie's good qualities. And she said the one thing that he did, and that's when I found out that he played on the album. She said he's extremely talented when it comes to music, and between his father and his uncle, they both, anything, they would drop anything to help him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
he said he had learned a lot from Alex with the guitar stuff or the drums. But I've sat there and watched him. There's so many different channels now that you can watch these guys. He was also on with Billy Corgan, I believe, because I'd actually like to talk to Wolfgang Van Halen. So I think that would be interesting for this kind of channel, because I know he's dealt with a lot of like backlash from people. Like he got so much shit in the beginning
why?
because one, it's the internet and social media, so everybody has to be a fucking asshole, and they would just dump on him about, you're not Eddie Van Halen, you're not your father, and it was just like, well, no shit.
I don't.
And he wasn't trying to be. He wasn't up there shredding his ass off or trying to do it all. He was just his music does not sound like Van Halen.
I am sure
But
part of the attack too is his looks.
he caught shit for being a big dude.
And it's funny.
There were people that were personal attacks. There were people that, your guitar skills aren't up to your father. It's like, well, he didn't come out and say, hey, I'm the next Eddie Van Halen.
But Eddie Van Halen, was Eddie Van Halen that good at his age?
Yeah. Yeah. When he was a teenager, yeah, he was that good.
I mean, when did Van Halen, how old was he when Van Halen started?
They were a high school band.
So, I mean...
Well, they didn't have the name Van Halen because once they added David Lee Roth, that's when the name Van Halen came up. But that was in the 70s. But yeah, he was in high school, and right after high school, he was that good.
Yeah, it formed in 72.
Yeah, I mean,
So, let's see.
I mean, their first album, I believe, was 74 or 76.
So, he would have been... My thing keeps going in and out. He would have been... When did you say it first started?
The first album?
Yeah.
I want to say 76, but I'm
So
not.
he would have been 21. Yeah, so that's...
Okay, but that's when the album came out. That doesn't mean he wasn't. He was already blowing people away at parties and all that stuff. Like everybody you watched the interviews, they already knew how good he was years before.
Right, they say he started in 64.
Anyway, yes, he was, is Wolfgang Van Halen going to be better than him? There is no better. It's just who you prefer. There's no such thing as, I know there's people that will lose their minds over, well, this Jimi Hendrix is the best. No, he's your favorite. He's not the best. There's no way to judge it. It's impossible. my top four guitarists, probably half the people in the world would be like, "What? You left out?" But you asked me who my favorite were, not who were the technically. But he's caught so much shit. If we're talking about like mental health, how he didn't like just quit or spiral or whatever. It would just be interesting to talk to him about that because he touched on it when he was talking to Billy Corrigan on his podcast, but it's like he just got so much shit for I, like he didn't ask to be born with the last name Van Halen.
And I'm sure they went to him about being in the band at the age of 16. I just looked it up. He toured with them at the age of 16.
That's what I was saying. He was a kid when he
So,
played at Van Halen.
and
I'm sure his dad was like, "You can play the bass, whatever." I don't know for a fact how that happened. I've heard David Lee Roth complain about it, but when he had come back after Sammy Hagar, that's when Wolfgang Van Halen was playing bass.
yeah, I would like to see what they do when they release all the other stuff.
Yeah, Alec, that was at least a year ago, maybe longer.
Well, from here, he was touring in 2024 at Van Halen.
Who?
Wolfgang. But Van Halen didn't tour in 2024, did they? Maybe they just released something? Or maybe they were working on something?
I don't know what you're talking about with that one. I don't know who. I can tell you right now, Alex, and I don't. From what he said, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar are not going to be part of it. And I didn't hear Michael Anthony mentioned, so. And no offense to Sammy Hagar, when I think of Van Halen, I think of the four original members. It was two totally different styles of music. But anyway, with Wolfgang, I just think for this kind of discussion, it would be interesting because he's had to gone through some either, or at least I think, like self-doubt and, anxiety or stuff like that. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's just a really confident dude and he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
But I just remember that when him talking about it, and you would see comments when they would release a song or whatever, and it was just like, I don't get, like, I don't listen to bands I don't like, and I don't go on their page and just dump on them. Like, if I don't like the song, I don't like the song. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't sit there and trash somebody because of either their looks, who their father was, or their uncle, or everybody was just piling on. Like, I'd never seen anybody get so much shit for doing their own thing. He did not come out as Van Halen. He didn't come out as anything. It's just like, here's the band, and his last name is Van Halen. So guess what? You're going to get unfairly compared to your father your entire life. So I have to think that would be some sort of stress. Or
I'm trying to think. Do you know any other musician? Yes, John Bottom and Jason Bottom.
Not to that level.
Well,
and no disrespect to John Bonham, but that was also, they're drummers. No, not disrespecting drummers, but frontmen and
no, but I'm saying
lead guitarists always get all the hype.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know any other father-son where the father has passed and the son comes up and steps into that role. And not that Wolfgang is playing his father, but
He never stepped into that role.
no, but I'm saying like where they compare them to, like Jason Bottom's been compared to his father since he was playing the
Yeah,
drums.
I mean but he was also pre social media when he had stepped in,
Right.
and he's actually played with Sammy Hagar's band, I think.
Well, I know he stepped in and played for John Bottom when Zeppelin redid their whatever it was. But I'm trying to think, is there any other?
That was real. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what that was because when they retired, and they never toured again or did anything.
They did.
They were the one band that actually stuck to it.
They did Live 8. That's what it was. Over in England, they played it. They played over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I can't think of any other father son duo. Can you?
Of that magnitude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody where the father was that successful, and then
Yeah, I can't think of anyone.
yeah, just because we mentioned it, I'm thinking of Dweezil Zappa and Frank Zappa, but Dweezil Zappa's musical career, again, Frank Zappa, you had to have a certain kind of acquired taste for. Wasn't my kind of music. It was a little out there. Steve Vai actually was in his band.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Steve Vai.
Sopranos.
What?
No. Who am I thinking of? Who's Steve Vai?
A really good guitar player. He played in David Lee Roth band. Wah, wah. He's got like the heart guitar with a couple of necks, and
Oh,
the
that's not who I was thinking of.
the gem guitar that I had is the one that he designed.
Who am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of Van Zant?
Yes. Who'd he play for?
Or not Van Zant. Bruce Springsteen's guitar player.
Yeah.
Steven.
His name's Steve.
Is it Van Zant?
Hold
No, Van Zant was the dude from Leonard Skinner, wasn't it?
Hold on.
I'm horrible with freaking names.
I'm just going to look it up through The Sopranos.
Well, you might be flicking right by it because he should be one of the top ones.
He's not. That's what I thought. He's not though. Oh, Steve Van Zandt. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he played with Bruce Springsteen.
Just forever.
You did not know that. I just knew he played
Dude
guitar.
with the bandana.
I just knew he played guitar. I didn't know he had real hair.
Yeah, I would. Again, that's one that I can think of, but I don't know of Dweezil Zappa's music catalog. I don't know. I don't even know if he just plays guitar. Or does he actually tour or do anything? I don't know. You don't have to.
Dweezil. Yeah, I've heard the name just because they refer to him as Frank Zappa's son, but I don't know.
Well, I think if you hear the name Dweezil, I don't know how many of them there are.
Ironically, there was one on Law and Order that they went after, and he goes, "My name's Dweezil," and I'm like, "Who?" And who? I think I was watching a bit. Andrew's friend Crystal, and she was like, "Dweezil Zappa." I was like,
Isn't the daughter's name Moon? Moon Zappa?
"Yeah, it's Moon, Dweezil, and two other weird names." But yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody that's had to try to, heaven forbid one of Michael Jackson's kids decide they want to get into the music business. If you want to see the amount of hate that they're going to get.
The daughter does. The daughter sings, but she's not. She's more into modeling. Yeah, I can't think.
Who was Elvis Presley's daughter? Lisa Marie?
Yeah. Oh my God.
but
His granddaughter, there's a video on Instagram, I think it was, I watched. His granddaughter was making, how ironic, a peanut butter sandwich. I don't know what she was doing with it, but I don't know if she was putting bananas on it or not.
fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
She was frying it, yes. I thought that was really weird, but now that you mentioned it.
That was the running joke on what killed him.
But
Which it wasn't
she
true,
was singing
but
his song, Endless, what's it called? Endless Love? No, what was the song that he sang?
Endless Love. Unchained Melodies?
Yes. She was singing that, and her father's in the background, and he's doing something at the refrigerator, and she starts singing, and you just see him go. Her voice, and she's young, she's not older, her was amazing.
Anybody in today's age that has a father like that or a grandfather or something, and this is just my opinion, I would just be like, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Just be prepared.
Well, her last name's not Presley, though.
To not look at, yeah, but everybody's going to know. You ain't getting away with shit. You could change your name. You could do whatever you want. Everybody's going to find out, and it's going to be out in 5 seconds. But I would just be like, either don't read anything in social media or on the internet ever, or just be ready for the amount of pure hate and just disgusting comments from assholes, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's sad.
It doesn't matter. I don't know why that is. It'd be the same thing as Mike Tyson has a son that gets into boxing. He is just going to get trashed because of who his dad is.
Muhammad Ali. His daughter boxed.
And this is going to sound fucked up. Wasn't his son.
She took crap, though.
Most people didn't take women's boxing very seriously.
Muhammad Ali, who do you have the problem with?
George Foreman.
No, Joe Frazier.
Frazier.
Frazier's daughter boxed Muhammad Ali's daughter. But they would say, and Frazier's daughter's a lawyer now or a judge in Philly, but they would say that Muhammad Ali's daughter would not have made it where she did if it wasn't for her father.
Well, yeah, you're going to hear that, or you're going to hear you're not as good as your dad, or you suck. And yeah, it's just.
I would hope she's not as good as her dad. Her dad was a male boxer. I'm not, and I'm a female.
Oh, she could have been better than him. She could have. I mean, she could have went on to win.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Gold medals in the Olympics, women's title after title after title, and been the greatest female boxer ever. Is she going to be Muhammad Ali?
No, never.
No, because there's Michael Jordan. I don't care how good his kid is. If I don't even know that he has any.
No. What's the other dude?
Please don't go down that road.
What?
LeBron James.
Yeah, his son.
Now I'm going to sound like one of those people. I don't think he would have gotten shit if it wasn't for his dad.
I will tell you right now.
I'll just be, and I know I just got done saying, don't say that shit.
No, I'm agreeing with you 100%. He went into cardiac arrest on a basketball court. If he was not his father's son, the NBA would not have signed him. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't. And that seemed to be more of a publicity thing, just so he could play a pro game with his kid.
Father, yep. But I can't see you putting your kid's life at risk.
But back to the other thing, like Michael Jordan, I don't know that he has any kids. I don't know anything about his personal life.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if he had a kid, I don't care how many championships he won. I don't care how many points, how many records he broke, whatever. He's still not Michael Jordan. There's just certain people in every sport. in every, acting, whoever you want to say is one of the best actors of all time. Morgan Freeman, he's one of my favorites. He's got a kid that comes out. It's to me, it's. I'm not going to shit on them, but it doesn't matter how many things they win or how great they are. It's just they're not that person, and it's not fair to compare them to them. But as a human being, it's just
I think we do that all the time, though. Angelina Jolie's father is
John Voight,
yes,
great actor.
right.
So she. I mean, I think she's a great actress.
Do you think she would have pursued that if her father wasn't an actor? We don't know.
Well, pursuing it and getting the opportunities are two totally different things. There's a lot of people. I mean,
Or do you think she would have got the opportunities she had without her father being who he was?
I don't know the situation, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not even going to comment on that because I don't know at all.
I'm trying to think of another
But
parent-child actor.
oh, there's plenty of them. James Caan's son is an actor. Gary Busey's son is an actor.
I don't know who Gary Busey. Who's he?
Gary Busey?
Yeah.
You don't know who Gary Busey
Now
is?
off the top of my head, no, I don't.
You ever see Point Break with Keanu Reeves? Just because I think you'll know that one.
Yeah, wasn't Patrick Swayze in that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gary Busey was Keanu Reeves' FBI partner.
Oh,
The blonde hair.
did he just die?
He played Buddy Holly. No, he's not dead.
Oh.
He had a bad accident
Yeah.
and he has a brain injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who he is now.
He played Buddy Holly. He played a ton of shit. I mean, he's been in all kinds of movies.
But he played Buddy Holly in what?
In the Buddy Holly movie.
There's other movies that Buddy Holly was in. That's why I was there.
No, there was the main one.
Oh.
I never saw it.
Anyway,
But-
on that note.
But in Hollywood, that happens way more than most things.
Well, yeah, just look
because
at Martin Sheen.
Charlie Sheen and Emilio
Estevez.
Estevez.
Yeah.
But because acting, again, don't anybody get bent. A lot of people can act. There's very few people that can sing to a high level, play guitar, write songs to high levels, and compete in sports in high levels. So the acting, I'm going to take that out.
I'm going to give you an example. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's daughter. Bobby, I can't remember her middle name, but her name was Bobby too. Both parents were, whether you liked them or not, they were both good. Whitney Houston was an exceptional musician. Not an exceptional person, but an exceptional musician. She was an awesome singer.
She was far above exceptional. I mean, she's one of the...
And Bobby Brown didn't do bad for himself. Their daughter, you can go like that all you want. I mean, he didn't. He didn't do... It wasn't your type of music. But their daughter, I don't believe she sang at all. I don't believe she went into that at all. And Whitney Houston's mom started in church. She was a church singer.
I mean, you have a lot of kids of these stars that go one of two ways. They're going to get into it, or they've seen the shit and they want no part of it.
I don't think I'd have to look it up, but I don't think she had the talent, but
Yeah, I don't know. Like Tom Brady. If he has a son, do you really want to get into football? Like, if you want to get into it. Obviously it's anybody's thing. But you are not, again, that's another situation where it doesn't matter what you do. People are just going to compare you to Tom Brady, and you're never going to be, in their eyes, good enough.
I don't believe his son played. He just graduated high school.
I don't even know if he had a kid.
Oh yeah, he does. I don't believe he played football. I only know he graduated because, his mother was on Blue Bloods. Tom Brady's ex was on Blue Bloods. That's who he has a kid with. But
I couldn't even tell you his wife's name.
not the model. This was a different one. But yeah, I don't think he played football at all. At least if he did, he didn't look like.
Well, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It kind of seems like they either get in it. Now, sports is a little more rare because I can't name that many top sports guys where their kids went into it and had, some success or whatever. I'm trying to think of people and
I
nothing's
know
really.
a few only because of the games, and there would be like the father's here and he was and I'm like,
I only know this because he played here. Chris Long is Howie Long's
yes,
son.
yes, two
Again,
phenomenal players, but
Howie Long, phenomenal. Not Chris. He had a good career, but again, not.
I also think, and we've talked about this before. Look at the siblings that played. Eli and Peyton.
The Sharp brothers, Shannon and I just forgot the other one.
It's, and obviously,
That seems to be a little more
but to both of them,
Kelsey.
but for both of them to make in the NFL, that is
Well, there's two right there. If you want to name Jason and Travis, because they're both going to the Hall of Fame, and they were both like on. I don't know if either of them ever played for any other team than like. I know Jason didn't play for anybody except the Eagles,
and now
and I don't think Travis played.
Travis
for
has
anybody.
always played for the.
And they're both going to the Hall of Fame. They both have Super Bowls. One has 3 or whatever it is. So, yeah, I always find that to be weird. It's like, what are the chances of one of your kids making it to that level, let alone 2 of them
And
in the same sport?
and here's the shocking part. Travis got kicked out of one college program and got taken into another. He says he's and so we talked about this on a different episode. I am not an Eagles fan by any means, but I am a Jason Kelsey fan. And
Yeah, you got an autographed helmet over there.
they were, I don't know if it was one of their podcasts or what it was, but Travis had he legitimately was tearing up, saying, maybe it was when Jason retired, I don't remember, but saying that Travis would not have his career today if it wasn't for his brother doing what he did back when he was in college.
I think that might have been on the New Heights.
Was that on the
It
new
was
one?
either on the New Heights or it was on that documentary.
Yeah. So to me, that was pretty that shocking. But yeah, family members that go into the same line of work and they both thrive, you're going to get not pitted against each other, but they're going to be.
You're going to get compared.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking
unfairly.
for. Yeah, I mean, and so be it. It's,
But I mean, people do it anyway, so just don't pay attention to social media because all those idiots that are trashing on you haven't done shit.
yeah.
I don't understand that, like shitting on somebody doing something when you're doing nothing but sitting there on your phone. Just that's your job is. I mean, if that job paid well, paid at all, like there'd be billionaires walking all over the place because that. I don't care what you put up. If you're a celebrity or you have a lot of followers, you just get shit on for something for no reason.
Yeah.
And then when you're a relative of somebody super famous to the level of, Elvis, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Eddie Van Halen, whatever, you're just going to get dumped on like crazy. It doesn't even matter how good you are because Wolfgang Van Halen, going back to him, he can play any instrument and he can sing.
And that was something his father couldn't do, could he?
No, he was originally the singer. They were a three-piece, and I believe it was Alex that said to Eddie, like, we need to get a front man. I don't know if it was because, could you imagine, like, some of his guitar stuff, him trying to sing while he's doing that?
That's true, too.
And not the solos, just some of the shit that he's doing. Like, just the rhythm parts are like, yeah, good luck. So that's when they had went out and they were doing like Battle of the Bands, and they were renting the PA system off of David Lee Roth. Like his band would go on first, and they would rent the PA so they could play. So they just said, "Why don't we just have them in a band, and that way we don't have to. We can save the $10 or whatever it was." And the rest was history. But yeah, one thing I don't understand. I never understood just shitting on somebody for the reason of who their father was, and they're getting into the same industry or whatever. So your first thought and only thought is, well, I'm going to crap on them because they're not them.
Right.
Like, I get you being a huge Eddie Van Halen fan, but that doesn't mean that you can't be a fan or just not my thing and just, you know.
All right, guys, that's enough for this episode.
Wolfgang, if you're out there, hit me up.
Hashtag I'm in this. All right, until the next episode, guys, have a great night.